Here we go, y'all. Y'all know how we be getting down. Nothing but good game when I come around. Check me out one time. Look, it go. Kissing babies and shaking hands, man. I'm out here doing. You hear me? What the fuck I got to do out here to make it black open? And you are now experiencing the world famous BossMack podcast. RNS, y'all. RN motherfucking S. Oh, yes. Today is a beautiful day. I'm happy as fuck to be up in here doing this. Y'all niggas already know how I get down. Nothing but good game when I come around. BossMack topsoil, y'all got to love the sound. Whoa. Yes, indeed. Real niggas always in the league. Check it out, y'all. I am in here today doing my thing like I always do. I got a very special guest up in here with me. I got one of my OGs up in here. I had to get him to come out. I got my peoples, Bernard Toliver, OGBT, up in here with me. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed.
Hey, man, happy to have you in here vibing with me one time.
Glad to be here.
I know I'm getting carried.
Glad to be here. This is an experience.
Hey, you know, man. Hey, man, I had to come and let you see how I get down, how I do my thing.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. All good.
Y'all know how we be doing. The show is always brought to you by BossMack Streetwear. You can go through BossMack Streetwear, cops of BossMack Streetwear. You see the BossMack got on some BossMack Streetwear right now. This that OG logo joint. This the Puff though. This a new release. This with the Puff logo. And you know, if you want to be offensive, you can rock with Snoop Dogg got on the OG bitch relax, you understand me? You know, we put game on this shirt to make bitches want to flirt. You know what I'm talking about. You know, when you wear that, when you walk in the room, you're going to be seen. They're going to stop you. They're going to take pictures of you. It's going to open up dialogue. And if you wanted to open up dialogue, it's going to open up the dialogue. And that's like the BossMack topsoil there with you, helping you meet new people. Fuck with me, don't fuck with them. You know what I'm talking about? And if you need some game because you struggling with your bitch out there, tap in, holla at the BossMack. You know I got the reasonable race that's great. I got a whole lot of satisfied customers and people that's happy with the services. And you know, like I said, man, I don't even want to take your paper if I can't bless you with some good game, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. If I can't bless you with good game, I don't even want to take your paper. I pride myself on coming through for you. You know what I'm talking about? All right, now. Like I said, I have one of my OGs in here with me, man. The great Bernard Toliver. BT. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I can't complain about nothing.
That's what's up, man. How was your day today? How was your day?
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
I'm retired. Every day's pretty easy.
I feel you, man.
Hey man. Being retired is beautiful. Some days I wake up and I'm jealous of myself.
I feel you, man. I feel you, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. That is what's up, man. Well, you know, we always start off the show. Oh, shout out to Wifey is in the building, which is where Wifey and grandson is in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Supporting the thing. Shout out to the chat. We got some people in the chat. I got my guy Lucci tapping in from the UK. Shout out to Lucci.
Whoa.
And Joe Glass, Armando Gonzalez. What's up with it?
¿Cómo te vas? ¿Cómo te vas?
Hey, man, appreciations. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. We always hop on some trending items in the news. Niggas in the news. Niggas in the motherfucking news. And, you know, I don't know if you tapped into this, BT, but we lost a couple of greats over the weekend.
Yes.
Nichelle, I think Nichelle Nichols, Uhura.
Star Wars.
Uhuru.
I mean,
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Uhuru.
Yes.
I want to say rest in peace to Uhuru, Nichelle Nichols. You know, part of my childhood. You know, I used to watch Star Trek every day, coming home from school, tapping in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she reminded me, you know, made me think of my moms, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah, she one of the first black women regulars on TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, when you was coming up, do you remember when Star Trek first dropped when it first came out?
Yeah.
Was it like a popular show when it first came?
Yeah, it was pretty popular. I wasn't like a real regular watching that, but it was pretty popular. Shatner and Nimoy. That was Mr. Spock. He was
Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, Mr. Spock. He was the flavor of the month character. He was.
Oh, so he was like the most popular dude on the show.
I would say so.
I didn't even think about it like that.
I would say so.
Because of his ears and all that
they
stuff.
They made him look like a. Well, for back then, they made him look like an alien. You know?
Right. Yeah.
I think he was the first one that got a raise.
Oh wow! I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Probably I don't know for a fact, you know, but
yeah.
And that's how important he was to the show.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel you. Was people tapping into Uhuru?
Oh man, she was a pinup girl, man. Oh yes.
She did look good though.
She hung up in some dorms and rooms, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think I seen her out there. I think she was like Black Hollywood with it. I think I seen her out there with Isaac Hayes. I don't know. I don't know if she was parlayed with him a little bit.
Well, I don't know.
But yeah.
But she was, like I said, she's one a black pioneer, female lead.
Back
then, so she was very popular.
Right. Yeah, shout out to her, man. How long did that show last? Like when it first came out, though, did it stay a long time, or was it like in and out?
No, I think it stayed for a minute.
It lasted for a while.
It might have done. Yeah, I think it did between 7 and 10, huh? So between 7 and 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was. It was the future. It was a futuristic show at the time, and then later on, that's when Star Wars came out, and then there was like a competition, in a way.
Right. I know the reruns was up. Shout out to that. Joe Blas. I appreciate that $5. Shout out to that $5, man. Appreciate that. You get a little. They be shooting money in there sometimes.
All right, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. Was it like when did it come on? Did it come on like Saturday nights or was it Friday night or how did they when
I don't remember which night. I think it came on during the weeknights. I think it was a weeknight. Yeah, I think it was a weeknight.
Okay. Was it something to where like people stopped what they was doing to check it out, or it wasn't that big like that?
I didn't, but there were people that did.
Right.
I didn't, but there were people that did. Yeah.
Right. I feel you. Feel you. Okay, and then I know it was like a little scene where she kissed.
Shatner.
Was that a big deal? Because that was like an interracial thing on TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that might have been. If that wasn't the first, it was. It was close.
It was close to one hour
on television, on national television.
Was there some outrage because of that? Anybody? Was there some
down in Dixie? Yeah, down in the South. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They ain't like that, huh?
Oh yeah. Down south, yeah. Down south they were very. There's some things you couldn't show on TV down south.
Right.
That was you'll show up north.
Right.
Some shows. That show might, I don't know if that show continued to play immediately afterwards, but it's possible that, a lot of stations down there, they wouldn't show it at that. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But no, it was, that was like a pioneer moment.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
She said she was about to quit the she said she was about to She said she was about to quit the show, but Martin Luther King was like, "Nah, you can't quit the show."
Well, like I said, there weren't
they need to see
black female leads on television. The only one other I could think of at the whole might have been Diane Carroll with Julia. She had her own complete show.
Oh, okay.
Now she was the first black female lead on her own series.
Right. I feel you.
Yeah.
And she looked good too. Like she.
Oh yeah, beautiful woman, man. Yeah. Beautiful woman, man.
Was she with the Vic Damone back then? She was with him.
Yes.
Did that cause like outrage for her to be with somebody like that back then? Was that like?
No, I don't think so much. Because, actually it wasn't like a thing that she was shown a lot in public with him.
Right. It was more like you just heard about it. You didn't see it.
Yeah.
Like, if you see it, then it's more like more drama behind
exactly. It. Even the actors back then, Sammy Davis and folks like that were married to whites, they weren't seen a lot, publicly with them.
Right. I feel you.
Okay?
I feel you. Yeah.
The less they had of that, the less problems.
I feel you. Yeah. Well, rest in peace to Nichelle, Nichols, Uhura,
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, rest in peace to her. And another big time loss is Bill Russell.
Yes, indeed.
Bill Russell,
pioneer. He, in my opinion, he did much more off the court than he did on the court.
Right, I feel you.
He was an offensive player where he was not, but defensive, rebounding, leader.
Right.
He was tough, man.
Who'd he play? He played for the Celtics.
Yeah, he played for the Celtics. He won them all them doggone championships, and then they had people shitting in his bed in his house and in Boston, and just doing racist stuff, man. In Boston, man,
So he winning them championships.
Yeah, and then
they doing him like that.
He winning them championships on the court, nigga off the court. Probably nigga in the locker room. I don't know.
Who was on that squad with him?
Oh, he had a lot of different players. He had a lot of Hall of Famers. The black Hall of Famers, I can remember Casey Jones, Sam Jones, He had Satchel Paige. He had what's the brother's name? Paul. God dog it, I can't think his name. His son became a coach. Black guy came. He was off the bench, but he played with Bob Cousy too, and Bill Sharman, Tommy Heinsohn.
Now, was those guys racist? The Bob Cousy's and all those guys?
I don't. You know what? I don't know, but I would be willing to doubt that they were, because he had situations when they would play like exhibition games down in the South, the Celtics, or even games in the South. You know, of course, he couldn't go in there. The black players couldn't go to restaurants and things like that, so he wouldn't do it, or he wouldn't play the game,
right?
Because of that, and they supported him,
right?
You know, one thing. Well, okay, he ain't playing, we ain't playing. You know,
right.
So I can't speak to the mentality of his teammates or the organization, because he was the first black coach hired in any, I think in any sport. He was a player coach. And his coach, Arbach, he wasn't racist.
Okay.
No, he wasn't racist.
So it was more like just the city,
the city is what I've heard is, and not just from the basketball people. I had some relatives live. They said it's not the greatest place for black folks. But I ain't been there, so
I feel you.
Yeah, but it also makes me not really want to visit either.
I feel you.
But you know, I'm a Laker fan, man. So you know, I ain't got nothing to do with Boston, man.
I feel you, bro. I already know.
But I do respect some players that played for the Celtics, and Bill Russell as well, because he was truly he was one of the first, like, you know, the folks talk about shut up and dribble, you know.
Right.
He was way ahead of that. He's gonna speak his mind. He gonna be him. He's gonna be who he is. And if he doesn't like something, he's gonna let you know.
Right.
And if he doesn't agree with a policy you got or something, he will boycott it.
Right. I feel
got
you.
Much respect for him. Respect for him.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
What do you know? How he died, or what he died from, or was he just?
No, I don't know. They said he died. They said he died at his home, with his family around him. So
he kind of been out the mix for a minute, though, huh?
No. He be at the.
I mean, was he up moving around? Was he out and about like that?
Well, I think the last time I saw him was at the finals. I think he was at the finals.
Did this pass?
Yeah, because they won it in Boston. I think he was there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was a thing like he was having a prolonged illness. You know what I mean? Like he's been on the deathbed or, you know, ill for 2-3 weeks or nothing like that.
Right.
So. And when you see him, he was very, he's very alert. He's very, for 88 years old, God willing, I got to be like that at 88. I'd take it.
Oh, man. I'd
take it all day. Yeah.
Yeah, 88.
88.
Man, I feel like you in the bonus at the 80. You in the bonus, man.
Listen, you 70, you overtime when you do, when you 80, it's sudden death, brother.
Sudden death.
It's sudden death at 80, man. Shit. So, you know, the 90s a whole nother. There's some people, you know, nowadays, and more people that live to be, I got a few relatives that have lived to be in their 90s, and it's,
yeah.
That's just, you know, as long as you got for me, as long as I got my faculties and I ain't got nobody taking care of me, I want to be it. But I don't never want to be somewhere where you just gotta take care of me, feed me, wipe me. No, man, that ain't living. That's not living.
Oh,
that's
man,
not living.
I feel you on that, man.
No.
I feel you on that right there. Yeah, let me go quick out of here or something, man.
No, but. Hey, we just take advantage of each and every day, man. That's all we can do.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, BT, man. like I said, man, happy to have you in here. Let's get into you a little bit. Where was you born and raised at?
I was born in Chicago, and I was raised in Milwaukee.
Raised in Milwaukee.
But I spent whenever school. Well, I still got family in Chicago. That's where my people are from. Whenever I was out of school, I was in Chicago. Summer, Thanksgiving, Easter. My mama ain't shipped me out for some weekends. She just, I just spent a lot of time there.
Okay, all right. So that's like in the. So is that like part of the 50s and the 60s type?
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly the time period, 50s and 60s.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, where was you at when you heard JFK got assassinated?
I was in junior high school. Me and his mom went to the same schools. Okay, so I've known her a long time. But we were at Robert Fulton Junior High School in Milwaukee. Young lady came in from the office, and she had been sent out to do an errand, and Sandra Hutchins, that's her name. And she came in, and she was crying and just really freaking out crying. We like, what the hell, And she said Kennedy was killed. And Kennedy, for black people, was our president. I mean, because he was through the civil rights era and stuff. He initiated a lot of things and supported Martin Luther King. And it was kind of like they took our hero.
It was like a shock for real.
Yeah.
Like, it was really shocking.
And it wasn't just for black people, for the country. It was a period of time when he brought a lot of hope.
Right.
They call it the time Camelot.
Right.
And he brought up a whole new dynamic to the country, and it's like it's snatched away.
Right.
It was
and he was
away.
Young too, though. Like,
yeah, he was in his 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in his 40s.
Young dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was and I think that's the first president had been assassinated in modern history.
Yeah.
And it was just a real shocker for us as seventh graders. Now it was a real shock, and it was a real sad time for us.
Could you feel like the depression, like throughout the community, like it was just
you can feel it through the community, even in the school.
Right.
People like somebody in the family is gone.
It was like big impact.
Yeah. And but the only thing I will say, surprisingly, his successor, Johnson, he's a Southerner from Texas. We said, Lord, oh man, but he was even more progressive than JFK, because he got all the civil rights laws passed and signed.
Right.
And he said once we signed these bills, he said, we're Democrats. He said, we'll never have a South again. and hey, true to form, the South turned Republican. Okay, and the Republicans were at one time the champions of civil rights.
Right.
The Democrats were the ones that were holding it back until Kennedy.
Right.
Kennedy changed that.
Right.
And it's just like a flip-flop. The parties flip-flop.
Right.
What you see is the Republicans today were the Democrats in the 50s.
Okay.
In the early 60s, in the 50s, all the way up to the 40s, all that. Democrat Dixie, what do they call it? Dixie something I can't remember. Democrat, but it was Democrat Dixie. Dixiecrats, that was the term.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. So then after that, how about the significance of Malcolm X assassination? Did that impact the same type of way? Or?
No, it was It was impactful, but not like Kennedy, not like King.
Right.
But it was impactful.
It was like
Malcolm X was kind of like you know, a little bit ahead of his time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And black people at that time were off into the message that Dr. King was bringing.
Right.
And Dr. King was having a lot of success.
Right.
But Malcolm was speaking from the Black Muslim movement.
Right.
Which was basically Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
But they were independent, completely independent. They did not want to do nothing with white folks. They had their own farms, stores. In Chicago especially.
Right, right.
In Chicago especially. They were completely self-reliant.
Right.
And their doctrine was, you know, we ain't feeling whitey at all. He's the devil. He's
right.
the devil.
Right.
Where most black people were more along, and especially I would say most with our people, is with the based from the South, religious.
Right.
And they're more of a religious doctrine towards Christianity, what King was pushing.
Right, right. I feel you.
Okay, and Malcolm was pushing a different ideology,
completely different religion. They had to get on. They had to get past that. Just even the different religion part and
right.
Allah and all that stuff. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. So
I feel you.
But then Malcolm, when Malcolm went to Mecca, and he saw the ideology that Elijah Muhammad was teaching towards Islam. And
right.
He said, "This isn't what Islam really is." He found out it was different. And then he became a threat.
Right. Right.
And
I feel you.
The rest is history.
Could you now you being in Chicago, could you feel their presence in Chicago?
Oh yeah.
You can feel it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. On Stony Island, they had a huge, I don't know if it's still there, but a huge mosque on Stony Island.
Mm-hmm.
And a huge restaurant.
Right.
They had their own schools.
Right.
High schools, preschools, elementary schools. Not no Chicago school district. This was just their own. Everything was self-reliant. You go
right.
groceries, you go to the Muslim stores.
Right.
You know, everything was self-reliant. But it wasn't just Chicago. Chicago was probably, in New York, were probably the largest bases.
Right.
But they had them all over the country.
Right.
Mosque. Even in Milwaukee. They had mosque in Milwaukee. They had mosque everywhere.
Okay, now, along with Malcolm X and them and Islam, the Black Panther Party and Fred Hampton and them, could you feel they presence out there? Or were they more like underground with it?
Yeah, they were more of my generation.
Right.
But they started up in Oakland, and their thing was in a sense like the Nation of Islam, in that they wanted self-reliance, but they also wanted to make sure that folks knew that they were packing heat,
right,
and weren't gonna take no mess.
Right, right.
But their thing was definitely very much community based.
Right.
Serve the community.
But you knew that they was more armed. You know they was about guns and
they wasn't, backing down from no police, so but their thing was very, very community centered.
Right.
Very, very community centered.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Right. Did you ever go to any of their meetings or you do anything like that or
No, I didn't. I went. The only thing I can remember as far as is the civil rights, I went to some boycotts, some marches. But as far as the organizations, no. I thought about one time. I even got a couple of friends that joined the Nation of Islam, and. But when I heard them brothers and eat barbecue, I just couldn't. I just couldn't give it up, man. But you know, I'm a different stage of life then. You know what I mean? Some things I'm gonna give up, some things I ain't. That
I feel you, man.
No, I had to have my ribs, man.
I feel you, man. It was shocking when I first experienced the Nation of Islam. I was like, we don't eat bacon. I couldn't understand that. That was really difficult as a little kid, you know. No bacon.
Yeah.
But I didn't experience the Nation of Islam until I had came out here for the summer, like in '76. I think I came out here to visit my grandmother.
Okay.
And in the apartment complex that I moved into over there.
By the park.
In Campanella, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That apartment complex was ran by the Nation of Islam.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
It was like Muslim. It was like, that was the first time I experienced the Nation of Islam. The manager of the apartments was Nation of Islam. And all the people that lived in those apartments was Muslims. Mm-hmm. And they was wearing black, you know, the black suits all summer. They was wearing, you know, the females was wearing, you know, the Islamic.
Right, the garb.
I don't know if it was burqa, but, you know, they was wearing the black.
No, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Going to school all summer, all through the summer, selling bean pies. It was
the daily call.
Yeah.
You know, and also Muhammad Ali, he also popularized the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
When he went into that, I saw Ali on 63rd Street, riding in the car that he had just turned Muslim, a convertible, sitting on the seat, in the back seat back there.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like, wow. And also, by him doing that, you know, made me think about that. I didn't say I was going to do it.
But it occurred to you, like, wow, he's out here with us for real. Like,
and I'm listening to some of the stuff he's saying. I'm like, you know,
yeah.
You know, so.
One of my buddies, man, it was a big deal. Like, a dude I grew up with over there in Campanella, he had a picture of him as a little boy, with Ali was holding him, and he was like socking Ali in the jaw. That was a big deal in the neighborhood, just to have that picture like that.
God,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my God.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And he was like socking Ali too. So it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know, there are some black people that are universal heroes, and Ali was definitely a universal hero because he spoke his mind. He did what he felt.
Right.
Like in a way like Russell. Well, you saw they were they had that big meeting in Cleveland.
Right.
You know, and he was an activist. He was an activist, and he was just so loved and admired, man.
Man.
Yeah. Oh man, there's some things in life, you know, I can say is at my age that I'm glad I actually saw Martin Luther King and saw him speak, and well, not live, but on television.
Right.
I saw Muhammad Ali as a fighter, and saw him during his lifetime. Those are things that I'm just very happy I got to see.
Hey, man, I feel you.
Yeah.
Great moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I feel you on that. That's kind of like I got to see Miles Davis live one time. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I just, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was gonna be like a historical thing at the time when I saw him. I just like, you know, when I saw him, I just was like, okay, I got to see. You know,
saw a legend.
This
man.
Miles Davis, but then later, after I really reviewed his career and his musical achievements, I was like, oh wow, I got to see Miles Davis.
Yeah, you saw a legend.
In this period, he was doing this at this particular time. You know what I mean?
When we get to see legends, not just read about them, that's something, man.
Yeah.
That's something.
Wait, keep talking, man.
Okay. Yeah, but I I think the biggest heroes with me were Dr. King, Ali. Uh, they were the biggest ones. There are a lot of them. There are legends in sports. You got legends in civil rights, politics. You know, and I didn't learn about a lot of them like I should have until I went to got out of high school and went to college and started learning Black history. That's a whole nother ball game. Whole nother ball game.
Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, so Martin Luther King, when he got assassinated, what was the impact of that on the community?
When Dr. King got killed, it was like a betrayal in the sense that here's this man that's talking about nonviolence, 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 and you kill him.
Right.
You take away, you take away our leader. You cut out our heart.
Right.
And people rioted, man. They went to the streets first couple of nights all over the United States. They talk about these riots during Floyd. Floyd picnics, man. Those are picnics compared to what people did when the riots hit at the Dr. King died. Oh man, there were a lot of anger, and a lot of people my age, angry people.
Right.
You know, and his message of nonviolence was truly lost for a while. Truly lost for a while.
Right. Do you think the gangster, okay, like, do you think like the overall gangster activity increased in the streets after he got killed? Like, as far as criminal activity, selling dope, pimping, all the negative things.
You know, I can't say that was a result of his death. More so of the times. The 60s was some pretty wild times. Drugs were plentiful. You know, white folks, black folks, everybody was smoking weed.
Right.
Now, when the crack cocaine epidemic came, that's a whole nother ball game. That's much after Dr. King.
Right.
But drugs, gangs have always been part of the black community in the gangs more so in the larger cities.
Okay.
But you know, drugs, man, that was really free flowing in the '60s, man. Really free flowing in the '60s.
Okay, like as far as like
'70s too, early '70s too.
Right. So like, what year did you go to college?
I went to college. First time '67.
Okay.
I went to '67. I went to school in Wisconsin, college called Whitewater State University at the time. I was like a pioneer. There was maybe 100 of us out of about 5,000 students, you know. And
wow.
And it was like culture shock for me, big time.
Right.
Big time. So I was there for a cup of coffee, man. I was out of there in the mid-semester. I was out. And I left there and went back to Milwaukee, went to MATC, and then in the fall I went to Lincoln University in Missouri, HBCU.
Okay.
And that became home. First year, tough, but after that, that was home. I was very comfortable. You know, it was a good place, cause they gave you they gave you opportunities that at the time, for me, they weren't presenting to the black students in larger white colleges. And I didn't go to a real big white college. I went to a smaller one.
Right.
But, you know, like I got in trouble a couple of times down there in Lincoln. But for what happened with me, I've been in a white university. I've been gone. Boom.
Right.
First thing out.
I feel you.
But in Lincoln, they put me on social probation. We had a house. I would say we had a house, and we took some things that weren't ours from the school.
Okay.
And we put them in our house, try to make it like it's ours.
Y'all stole some shit.
And the dean of students came up to our house, and we playing cards, drinking, getting high. He knocked on the door. We said, "Come on in, man, come on." And we didn't know who it was. He was him, and he looked at. He said, "This don't belong to you. This don't belong to you." And we just said, "Oh my God!" But he said, "You want to meet with us?" He said later. He said, "Y'all going on social probation. I'm not gonna kick you out." He said, "You got to move back on campus. You got to stay there a year, keep your nose straight, and then after that, we'll see what happens."
Kept y'all going.
But if I'd been at a white school,
it would have been over.
Oh,
in jail,
man.
probably caught a case.
Done time. My mama would have never applied for another loan. I've been to Vietnam. I'd have been in the war. I've been a staff sergeant probably.
Shout out to black people taking care of black people. That's what's up.
That's what HBCU.
That's what it is.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. So I'm always thankful for that.
Yeah, man.
Always thankful for that.
I think you always need a shot like that. Young dudes always need a shot like that, you know.
Yeah, you get a chance to get right, and now if you don't do right,
yeah, if you consistent,
that's on you.
If you consistent with your,
that's on you.
yeah,
that's on you.
Okay,
you know?
Did you pledge a fraternity? No fraternity. Was they strong on the yard?
Yeah. I lived in the house. I lived in a house with some Kappas.
Okay.
They just beat them cats up down in the basement and stuff. And, you know, but their big thing to me, with me was a lot of guys that I went to school with. They pledged to get ladies.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's for the female.
I ain't had to take no ass whooping and get no woman.
It's like an illusion like that help you get more females, but I don't even think it.
But there's some female, you got some females that like jocks.
Yeah.
You got some that like fraternity guys.
Yeah, but if you don't have no game though, you still gonna pay the penalty. Like it help you.
It ain't gonna last.
Right. They help you get in the door, but you still gotta have some game about yourself, or it's gonna,
We call us and all respect to my brothers I went to college with the pledge fraternity. That's good for them. It just wasn't for me. We call us GDWs, goddamn individual. Well, GDIs.
That's what they call it. Yeah, we call them
goddamn
that.
individual. You know? But I ain't got no problem with the guys that that did that. That's their thing,
Yeah.
And with some of them, it did help them after they got out of school. Get jobs and get help.
Yeah, it is plugs.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you can get some plugs.
Different strokes for different folks. That's all.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Okay, now what years was you in college? What years was that?
I went to college from 67 to 72.
Okay.
I was at Lincoln from 68 to 72.
Okay, so the impact of the black exploitation movie started happening while you was in college. Then did
I would say more so. Yeah, some, but more so when I got out.
Right.
Superfly and
the
Cotton
Mac.
Comes to Harlem and the Mac. Yeah, the Mac and what's the ones with the Fred Williamson and them. Most of them came early 70s.
Right.
Early 70s.
Now, what was the impact of those films on the community? Did they have like?
Oh no, you saw yourself. You
Facts.
saw yourself. You saw yourself, and not only that, did you see yourself? You were winning.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You wasn't put in the backpack of a paddy wagon and doing 20 years. You were, blowing up the pad, making the cops get locked in the paddy wagon. You were winning.
Right.
So that people loved that, man.
Right.
People loved that.
Right.
And regardless, I don't think people thought so much of the role model, like Superfly or whatever, as much as he was successful. You saw somebody successful.
Right. Having money. Yeah.
And
beautiful women.
Beautiful women and winning.
Right.
And winning.
Right. Winning.
You know what I mean? And winning.
Winning.
And winning. And then when they came out with a Shaft, that changed the dynamic some,
Right.
Same theme, sharp, got money.
Right.
But now you putting down the bad guys. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
But the bottom line it was black people winning.
Right.
That was the bottom line.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, musically, at that time, Isaac Hayes and people like that. Did you ever go experience any of them live? Go see them live? Any memorable live concerts from that era?
I saw Earth, Wind and Fire. I saw what was a big thing for us in college. We listened to a lot of jazz.
Okay.
And Pharaoh Sanders, which is basically music to nod on, is basically what it was. But that was the quote unquote in thing. And I remember we went to see him in Chicago.
Okay.
And that was a real big, we saw Pharaoh Sanders,
Okay. Did you ever see Miles in that era right there?
Live? No. I had albums by him.
Okay.
But live, no.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, in Milwaukee, when was the Summerfest started by that time?
Yeah, Summerfest started, I think, 67. I believe that's when they had the first Summerfest.
Was you going to them when they was?
Oh yeah. Summerfest every year. Absolutely. I think the first performer they had in 67 was James Brown.
Oh, okay.
I saw him.
Okay.
I mean, it was nothing like it is now. No comparison. But the first few years of Summerfest, I was definitely there. And you went when the Black Act. They had the Black Act there. It drew the black community there. It even drew some people from Chicago and other cities.
Right.
For there, they used to have something called the Cool Jazz Festival also in Milwaukee, twice, at a county stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, but they had so many people from Chicago coming up there. I guess quote unquote causing problems. I guess that would be, they considered it that. But the bottom line, Milwaukee did not like to have a whole lot of black people there at one time.
I feel you.
At that time,
I feel you.
So anything that drew that, we don't really need to have that.
Okay, so, I feel you.
Yeah.
Now, during this time, Kareem was on the Bucks. Did they win? They won a title with him.
71, they won it.
Okay. Was he experiencing racism for that? Like in the city, was he?
Kareem was.
Or they more embracing?
Kareem was at that time. Kareem was like on the top player, the top of every NBA scouting report. Everybody wanted Kareem.
Right.
And but he was a fish out of water in Milwaukee.
Right.
Because he's from New York. He went to college out here in L.A.
Right.
And that's a major, again, culture shock.
Right.
Culture shock. So he went to he came to Milwaukee and he I think he did maybe 5 years in Milwaukee or something like that. Then he asked to be traded to L.A.
Right.
I don't blame him. Where he's coming from, it wasn't nothing for him.
Right.
They gave him a little jazz radio show. He was a DJ. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh man, that's dope though.
I can't think of the name of it.
That's innovative for now. Like that would be like innovative for now for a player in his prime to have a jazz.
They had his own. He DJ'd
that
his
would be
own
tight.
jazz show.
Yeah, was that extremely popular in the black community? Was people tapping into that, or people didn't even know?
Much. Some no. Some not. Some not that much. I think it was called Coconut Island, something like that. It was something island.
Oh man, that's dope, man.
But they did that basically to pacify him, to give him
that
something
was
to
dope, right
make
there,
him, want to stay. Hey, that didn't.
Yeah,
that ain't work, man.
Yeah.
No.
Johnny, mom's he said Kareem, he said he used to link up with the Kareem and play basketball sometime. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, said he came to a little party they was having a party one time in the neighborhood, and said he just came to the party.
Yeah, well, it wasn't like, you got 9 million black people up in
there. Yeah, I feel you, man.
At the time, the numbers are much bigger now than it was when we were coming up. But
that's too dangerous. That couldn't happen really now, I don't think. I think it's too dangerous to happen now, something like that.
I wouldn't be no pro athlete going to no brother or sister's party I don't know, okay?
Milwaukee is wild right now, man.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah. Okay, now, when you came back from college to Milwaukee, how was it for you, like employment-wise and all that?
I got recruited, as a matter of fact. They had school districts, because I became a teacher.
Right.
School districts that came and recruited us at Lincoln. They wanted black teachers.
Right.
And I remember one was Pomona out here, and I said, "Oh man, L.A. I could be in L.A." But I'm so glad I didn't take it, because I didn't know how far Pomona was from L.A.
Right.
I would not have got the same vibe. but a recruiter came from Milwaukee.
Right.
And, that was, oh, wow, this is right up my alley.
Yeah.
So I did get a job with Milwaukee. I signed a contract with them. And they paid me I got $8,300 a year.
Okay.
That was my first job.
Wow.
And believe it or not, was able to survive.
And that was a lot of money for them.
Was able to survive on that, man. Rent was only like about $125 or something, man. I'm surprised I didn't ride a horse. Shit. The damn my cardinal when that bet, but I made it. I made it, and I got into the Milwaukee public school system, and that was in '72, fall of '72, and I got drafted in January. October '72.
Oh, you had to go to Vietnam?
I was doing my best to get out of there, man. I had a thing called a draft lottery.
Right.
And if you were in school, you had what you call a 2S deferment. You were good.
Right.
If you were out, you had a 1A. So the lower your number, the more odds are you were going to get drafted.
Right.
So when I was in school, I had to take a physical in St. Louis, but I still had my 2S, and I did my best to fail that physical, man. I drank a thing of cough syrup. Man, everybody passes. Ray Charles passed in St. Louis. Everybody passed in St. Louis.
I feel you.
So what happened was, when I got out of college, I finished college, they were like waiting on me, because my number was like 83. So they were just waiting on me, and they drafted me. And I had to decide whether to, I had an apartment and a car and a nice job, meeting ladies. And I'm like, do I want to give this up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I did was I joined the reserve. But the reserve was 6 years, but it's part-time.
Right.
2 weekends and 2 weeks a year.
Right.
2 weekends a month. I'm sorry. 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. So I said, let me go on and do that. So I signed up for that. And the thing about it was, in February the next year, Nixon was the president. He ended the draft. If I had just gotten an extension until the end of the school year, I wouldn't have had to deal with none of it.
So you had to go to reserve. You did that.
Man, I had to go to reserve, man.
Did they look down upon you for doing that? Did people in the Army look at it like you got away type shit?
I didn't give a shit. I didn't give a shit. And I was the most militant. And at that time, I was one of the most militant people, in the world. I wouldn't stand up for the flags in the movie theaters. You always play the national anthem before,
Before a movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you're on the base, if you were on the base.
Oh, I thought it was like in the regular theater.
No. On the base. You were on the base. If you were on the base, and I didn't stand up, man. And, I got called in by my commanding officer. He read me the riot act. They gave me all kind of BS jobs, bullshit cleanup jobs.
Right.
And it just made me more
militant.
More militant, man. I had an afro. I was about a size cap, my cap to wear about 4 sizes bigger, so it looked like it fit me. Yeah. I had an afro underneath there. Man, them drill sergeants, man, used to stay in my shit.
I feel you.
But that's what I did. This one guy, I'm just so with us. And this was about year 4. Year 4, I was still a private. They would give me no promotions at all. I think I was a PFC, year 4. And this black guy told me up in Fort Ord, California, I remember. And he told me, he said, man, you got to play the game. Play the game, be who you are, but just play the game and, be done.
Right.
And after I did that, things got easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have to be, you white now, you this, that, you this and that, F you, No, I didn't have to do that. Just,
right.
Do what you got to do, go home, be done.
Right, I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you get to be like, okay, I got to get up out of here, I'm going to California, I'm coming to California?
82.
82?
82 was the year. So I've been back in Milwaukee 10 years. I taught back there 10 years. And what happened was, Milwaukee was a very stagnant place at the time. I don't think it's a lot different now, but
right, I feel you.
I don't mean nothing bad.
It is what it is, bro.
People that are still there.
It is what it is, bro.
But it's like you the first black to do this. You the first black at this school. You the first black to do this. And I'm like, man, I don't want to be no pioneer. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
But the worst thing about it was the winters.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with the winters. I couldn't deal with the winters anymore, man. They would get to the point.
Couldn't take it either.
They get to the point they would depressing me, really. Before I go to work, I'm like, I'm already bummed out, and I'm at work.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm bummed out before I even go to work. Got to shovel the driveway. Got to hope my car starts. I said, man, So what happened was, my wife and I, spring vacation, we went to New Orleans.
Right.
And we left out of Chicago, and it was snowing, and we were just ahead of the storm, but it was snowing when we left. Man, we got down there to New Orleans. There were nothing but palm trees, warm weather. I said, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. Where do we live at?
And I said, the only thing that's keeping us from this is a job and family.
Yeah.
And when we got back to Milwaukee, it was depressing. Because we were back in the snow, it was dirty, and I just left this warm weather.
Yeah.
And I said, I started flooding the warm weather, the Sun Belt, with jobs off. I had a job offer in Atlanta, but my wife didn't like it down there. And I got a job offer here And then I brought her out here, to check it out. I'd been here a couple of times before. And she said she liked it. That's it. I had a 1-year contract to pass this test, NTE. In the meanwhile, I had a year employment.
Yeah.
And I passed it on the last shot.
I feel you, man.
So it was meant to be.
I feel you, man.
It's meant to be. That's almost 40 years ago, September.
Okay, and how long you been living in that location over there where you at right now?
Since 91.
91.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 years over there.
Okay. Yeah.
Lived in Inglewood 10 and lived in Carson since then. We moved to Carson in 91, but we were in Inglewood before that.
Okay. Yeah, Centerview, man. A lot of the guys that grew up over there. A lot of the dudes in the community over there.
Well, my neighbors, I know them,
Right.
but and then my daughter started middle school over there when we were over there. So some of her friends from middle school on,
Yeah.
I know them, They're all, they all got their own kids and stuff. Some of them got kids that are almost old enough to go to middle school.
Yeah. Grandparents.
Yeah, man. That time goes by, man.
Yeah, man.
That time goes by. So.
Yeah, man.
But I got no regrets about leaving Brewtown, man.
I feel you.
No, I don't even think I'll ever go back there again. I got a sister still there. I told my people in Chicago and in Milwaukee, I ain't coming back here no more. Because all my trips have been back there to go see them.
Right.
They rarely come out here, if ever. Rarely, if ever, come out here.
Oh, so you saying you ain't going back to visit no more?
I ain't going back to visit. I took my grandkids back there last year so they could see it. And if they want to go back again, they'll go when they're adults or when whoever takes them.
That's the page my mom's is on, man. She like, man, I ain't got no.
Ain't nothing back there no more.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing back there no more. So,
yeah.
I wish everybody back there well, but most of my buddies I came up with are dead or gone to other places. They've gone on to other places.
I feel you.
Yeah, so
I feel you, man.
that was a stage in my life that was necessary to experience. That's all.
I be trying to find something good in Milwaukee. When I be looking at it, I be like, I try to
Be positive.
Yeah, man, but it's really difficult. Like, you know what I mean? I got a few people back there, but it is really difficult. I got people spamming me, man, with sexual content on here, man. You know what I mean? I don't even know why they do this to me, man. But yeah, man. All right. Let me ask you this, man. Well, now I know this, may sound kind of way out, this question right here, but what you think was like the best moment of your life? Best moment.
Oh man.
Best highlight.
I've had a few highlights. Finishing college.
Okay.
Marrying my wife.
Shout out to wifey.
Yeah. Over 40 years.
Yeah.
The birth of my daughter and my grandchildren. And the opportunity to travel, have an opportunity to travel, take advantage of it. Well, of course, probably moving to California too probably highlighted a lot of my life too. Gotta be. Getting out of that cold weather, man.
I feel you. As a teacher, what was your highlight of that? What was the high?
The highlight is always your students come back and acknowledge you.
I feel you on that.
Always. I got some on social media. I stay in touch with social media. Man, a couple of them grandparents, man. I'm like, God dog, man.
Yeah, man.
That hurts. But then I got some that, are principals and that are doing really well, and they remember me. They some of them reach out to me. Some of them find out where I am, whatever, and they reach out to me. And that always feels good, man.
I feel you.
You don't realize you don't realize how you put an impression on somebody's life. You just don't realize it.
I feel you.
It's just like you thought that about me, or I'm like, dang, man. It's wonderful.
I feel you, man.
Wonderful. Best part of the profession.
I feel you, man. I remember one time I was having like a bad day, kind of like, and I was at the gas station getting some gas, and I seen this female pull up like in a real nice Escalade on rims, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, shout out to her having a nice Escalade like that. Even though I was having a bad day, I was like, shout out to her for having a nice Escalade like that. That's pretty nice right there. And then she got out and walked past me, and she kind of gave me a look. And then she was going back to her Escalade, and I was pumping gas, and she turned around and she was like, Mr. Connor. And I was like, what? You don't remember me? And I was like, man, I'm sorry, man. She named off this class that I had taught. Wow. That was like the worst class. They had, I hate to say this, man, but they had drove their teacher so crazy. She had passed out and had a stroke in the classroom type. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was crazy. But she was like, yeah, we remember you. You know what I'm saying? You did the best you could with us. We was just talking about you the other day. I was like, what?
Ain't that something?
I was like, oh,
ain't that something?
You made my day. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but you never know what impression you make. You just don't. Let me tell you this real fast. When I first started out here, I taught over in Watts. I had a student named James. Shit, I can't think of James' last name. I started with a T. I always remember him because he was a smart kid. Smart boy. Had him in 5th grade. And I was bringing the kids in the room, and I was aggravated with them because they were misbehaving out on the yard and stuff. And so now when y'all get in this classroom, I want everybody to put their head down. I'm going to see who's putting their head down the best. James was near the end of the line. James said, Mr. Toliver, that's some pretty good psychology. I said, oh my God, what am I going to do with this boy right here?
Yeah.
And he was smart.
Yeah.
He's got good grades, all thing. I ran into a couple of his classmates 10, 15 years later down at the mall. And, I said, what happened to whatever happened to James? Whatever happened to James? How James doing? He said, James incarcerated. Broke my heart.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Broke my heart.
Yeah. I've had a few of those. Yeah.
Such capacity, so.
Yeah.
I said I almost broke my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I done had a couple of them that got L's turned into murderers, like,
But that environment's got a lot to do with it. Yeah. But when you see the environment suck up that potential, you look at some of the biggest gangsters in the world. These guys are brilliant.
Right.
These guys are brilliant.
Facts, though. Yeah.
Brilliant, but their environment sent them another way.
Yeah.
Their intelligence didn't decrease.
Yeah.
It just went another way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's tough, man. You know, it's a lot of luck. You know, you got to be lucky, and you know.
And you got to have a really good foundation. You got to have that grandma or that mama that will whoop your ass if you even think about. Even think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you even think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to have the fear of God at home. The fear of God at home's got to be worse than the fear of God on the streets.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. Let me wait a minute. Let me pull up something right quick, man. I want to see. Okay, you a Laker fan, right?
I believe purple and gold.
Okay, which era of the Lakers was the best era of the Lakers? The Magic Lakers, the early '70s Lakers, or the Kobe Shaq Lakers, or the LeBron Lakers?
I'm gonna say Showtime was the best.
Showtime.
I'm a big Kobe guy, but Showtime was. When I first moved out here in '82, my buddy Prentice, who was from Milwaukee also.
Yeah.
And I was a Bucks fan, still Bucks fan.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what, man, I know you like the Bucks, but you watch these guys on TV after a while, I think you're going to start liking them better. It took me about a week. Took me about a week. I'm watching Magic running that show, and, man, them cats were just, I was hooked.
I feel you.
Hooked, man. Oh my God, they were such an awesome team, man. And they had the other also the arch rival Celtics were good too.
I feel you.
So when they played, it was serious.
It was a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah. No, that's Showtime for me was what was the best. I loved all the eras. But Showtime was real special.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay. Wait, let me see. I wanted to ask you. All right. Have you had any Hollywood experiences? I know that's kind of like a weird question.
What do you mean, like run into a star or something?
You know, yeah. Any interaction up in the hills? Anybody of noteworthy, anything like that? Never dabbled with that.
Not really that I can. No, not that I can think of. Who? Bel Air. Wait, I'm talking to my memory over here. My memory. Who? Yeah, but they weren't.
They would just have money.
They just had money. She had a cousin that had a lot of money. You know, he lived up in Brentwood.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But no, not anybody. I mean, and then even the celebrities I might have seen, it's like, you know, how you doing? And when like, oh man, can I please have your autograph? And no.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Because they're just people that got jobs that make them famous, you know. And I gotta respect their privacy and their people. They're just.
I get it.
You know.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay. What was like your most memorable like concert experience? Most memorable concert experience?
I'd probably say the one with we went to the Greek to see Anita Baker.
Oh, okay.
And my wife had brought flowers for her, and she was able to go up to the stage to give them to her.
Okay. Okay, that was when Anita was in her prime then too, huh?
Yeah. She
was when that album that
what was the name of the movie? It's one of her first albums, with the first two albums. Within her first 2 albums.
Giving you the best that I got on there and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a fan too.
Yeah.
But she's super fan.
Yeah, I feel you.
And by her to be able to do that, that was just like
That was
the
a big
highlight.
deal.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shit, man, we almost did an hour and a half.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Let me ask you a closing question.
All right.
Closing question.
It ain't gonna get me arrested, is it?
I don't think so.
All right.
What does beautiful look like?
Beautiful is I really do believe that beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Okay.
Beauty to me is love, and is rare, but unconditional love.
Okay.
The kind of love you have for your children, for your grandchildren. You love other people. You love your wife. You love your sisters, brothers. You love them too. But it's a love to me is a beauty, and then when it's reciprocal, it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful, you know. And I'll say, beauty to me is also happiness.
Happiness.
That's, to me, that's everybody's stroke in life, is to be happy. What makes one person happy might make another person sad.
Uh-huh.
You know, everybody's got their own ways of being happy. But if I can be happy, I'm good.
That's what's up.
I'm good, you know.
That's what's up.
And if people make me happy, that's even continuance with it. You know what I mean? You don't make me happy, I don't want nothing to do with you. I ain't got no time for you. I can't give nobody's give a stage to nobody's drama.
I feel you, brother.
No.
I feel you.
Too old for that now, especially.
Well, man, you know what? I appreciate you coming out vibing with me, man, one time. You know what I mean?
This has been fun. It's been fun. It's cool. It's cool.
I appreciate you vibing with me. Well, I think that's about it. You know, you one of my OGs, man. I don't have too many.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
What? There ain't a whole lot of us either.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
but I appreciate it.
So I wanted to get you in here and talk to you, man.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
It's been a great experience.
Yeah, man.
Been cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. That's about it.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey. I'm gonna be back. I got another going live tonight. All y'all in the chat. Lucci, what's up with it? Shout out to the chat. We gonna be back tonight, man. Don't trip, man. We got a super special guest for y'all. Follow through and check out the next video, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.